You spent over $1 million and 18 months modernizing your e-commerce platform. You broke a high-performing monolith into 30 microservices as part of a massive e-commerce solution architecture overhaul. But now, your total cost of ownership is skyrocketing. Your unit economics are suffering, and that complexity delivered no improvement in checkout speed or conversion rate optimization. Latency rarely screams for attention. It quietly eats away at conversions in e-commerce systems of any scale. Even a 2-second delay breaks buyer focus, increases bounce rate, and reduces trust. That's psychological friction, something every e-commerce leader should be measuring. Pages load just a little slower. Some customers abandon their carts. Frustration builds. And this can happen even when your site looks fine on the surface. Amazon found that every 100 milliseconds of delay costs 1% in sales. And because Google factors core web vitals into search rankings, poor platform latency silently reduces both organic traffic and customer lifetime value. That may sound small, but across an e-commerce platform, it adds up to millions of dollars. Monoliths naturally avoid this kind of delay. Microservices often introduce it. That's when leadership finally notices. This isn't a random technical hiccup. It's a capital allocation decision hidden in your architecture. Every millisecond of latency is an ongoing cost against revenue, one that hard codes delay into your checkout flow. And once it's there, it's hard to undo and very visible at the executive level. Today, we'll walk through 3 key points. First, why monoliths are often faster than microservices. Second, how microservices introduce hidden latency and cloud complexity. Third, simple ways to avoid decisions that hurt both your e-commerce business and your career. As you listen, think about your own platform. Drop a comment if any of these points match challenges you've faced. If you're deciding between a monolith and microservices, stick around. I'll share practical ways to protect your ROI and your role. And make sure to subscribe so you don't miss strategies that can save your platform and your career. If you've lived through performance issues during a so-called modernization, you've already felt the trap. Let's break down exactly why the monolith felt faster. The architecture trap: logical versus physical. One costly assumption in e-commerce architecture is believing that because code is split on a diagram, it's separated in production. It isn't. And that mistake slows your site, hurts conversions, and frustrates customers. In a monolith, everything runs together in one system. It benefits from data locality, shared memory, fewer remote lockups, and tighter control over latency budgets. Inventory checks, pricing, and promotions flow in a single process. Split that into microservices, and those advantages vanish. Each service often maps to a separate team, inflating operating costs and extending time to recovery. 2 things that erode cash faster than technical debt ever did. When every latency incident crosses multiple owners, fixes take weeks instead of hours. And in cloud environments, those calls trigger cold starts and auto-scaling delays, exactly when e-commerce performance matters most. Every request traveling between servers adds friction. That friction compounds across millions of transactions, turning engineering latency into lost revenue. During peak shopping hours, checkout slows. Customers notice. This is the latency trap. Coordination overhead includes logins, retries, timeouts, and safety checks. Each one adds milliseconds for encryption, token validation, and compliance. All that handshaking slows checkout and search flows. Monoliths avoid most of this because execution stays inside one process. The network hop tax grows with every API gateway, load balancer, and service proxy. Each hop adds milliseconds before the next request even starts. In a monolith, data moves in memory. It's a pointer, sub-millisecond, near zero overhead. In microservices, that same step becomes expensive very quickly. Every hop adds a translation tax, paid again and again. And when 53% of mobile users abandon a slow site, that's not bounce rate. It's a direct hit to your return on ad spend and a massive inflation of your customer acquisition cost. Orchestration hell. Your customer experience moves at the speed of your slowest service. Tail latency. Search, add to cart, checkout. Even if averages look good, customers feel the slowest requests first. And every additional service multiplies failure probability. 10 services at 99.9% reliability are mathematically less reliable than the monolith they replaced. Then comes the data consistency nightmare. In a monolith, failed orders roll back atomically. In microservices, you give that up. Payments succeed. Inventory doesn't update. Now you have ghost stock, refunds, and angry customers. Engineering teams spend 30% of their time managing retries, each layer adding latency back into the journey. From leadership's perspective, velocity may appear higher, but it's an illusion, masking diminishing ROI, higher cloud spend, and growing operational risk. From the customer's perspective, the site just feels slower. I've seen leaders lose credibility, budgets, and roles because of this. Strategy: what to do instead. For most e-commerce cores, the monolith remains faster and more reliable. So here's how you avoid the latency trap and the career risk that comes with it. Optimize for measurable user and financial outcomes. Keep strong consistency flows monolithic. Use a modular monolith, clear boundaries, one deployment. Split services only when scaling needs differ. Measure success with real user latency, not vanity uptime. Because shoppers don't experience architecture, they experience delay, and delay shows up directly as lost revenue. Modern e-commerce architecture isn't about being distributed. It's about disciplined capital allocation. Every millisecond carries economic cost. Every service must justify its existence. The fastest platform is often the simplest, and the safest career move isn't following trends. It's delivering real business outcomes. If this video helped you rethink modernization, like, subscribe, and share your biggest challenge below. Share it with your leadership team, because latency isn't just a technical issue, it's a leadership issue. And that's why your monolith was faster. See you in the next video.